Specialist at WordStream, and I am here to welcome you, take care of some housekeeping items, and then pass you right along to our presenters. This webinar today is Hacking PPC Leads, how to get 3 times customers from half the leads. And it's brought to you by WordStream and Infusionsoft. And WordStream it has a free online university called PPC University, where all webinar recordings and white papers and PPCs live. And Ramon, if you could go to the next slide, our attendees can see where to visit PPC University. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more, continue learning how to get more leads, you can visit wordstream.com/learn. And on the next slide, you'll see how you can participate in conversation on Twitter. We'll be using the hashtag #WowMyLeads. Also, and use the Twitter handles Infusionsoft, WordStream, or any of our. We'll have somebody monitoring Twitter the whole time, some slides and quotes and answering questions. And you can also ask your questions to us via the control box. You see the question tab on the right. And I would like to do just a brief introduction. We have Larry Kim from WordStream. He is our host today. He is the WordStream, and he is the leader of the Quality Score Revolution, and that's little baby boy Julian down there. And if you want to see more adorable pictures, you can search hashtag PPCKid. So welcome, Larry. We're so excited to have you here.
Awesome, thanks.
And that is a cute baby, Larry. That is a very cute baby.
He is adorable, baby.
Thanks.
And our guest speaker today is Ramon Ray. He's so qualified, and we're so happy to hear. He's the best-selling author of Facebook Guide to Small Business Marketing. He is a small business evangelist at Infusionsoft, publishes Smart Hustle magazine, and according to his LinkedIn profile, I don't know if this is true, you can tell him he loves to do puppet shows.
It is true. In developing countries, qualify that, in developing countries.
So, not in America, I take it?
Not really. I do it for little children in developing countries when I go on trips and help other people, so that's when I bring my puppets out.
Very fun. Well, we are thrilled to have you here today and thrilled to share information with WordStreamers. And I just want to remind you guys, send your questions in through the control box or on Twitter using hashtag #WowLeads. We'll have about 10 or so minutes for Q&A at the end. And we are recording this webinar, so look for a follow-up email with the recording and slides.
Awesome. Should I take it away here, Larry? Anything you want to say, Larry, before I begin?
No, just welcome, Ramon. Great to be doing a webinar with you finally.
Awesome. No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. So, yeah, before I begin, I really do mean this, Larry. We talked about this yesterday as we were planning for today's webinar. I think that, we're going to give a lot of information today, and if you miss some of it, this is being recorded. You can always get the PowerPoint deck. And yes, this is by Infusionsoft and WordStream, but just like I think, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong, but with WordStream, you can do PPC without WordStream. It would just be a big headache. WordStream makes it much easier. And so in the same way, this is not a sales pitch. This is going to be great information that will help you grow your business. And as we said, 3 times more engagement and leads from your PPC action. We'll provide that with you today. And if you have questions, feel free to email me direct, or let's do some social engagement as well. So let's begin. And this is the conversation. Larry may jump in from time to time and ask something or challenge something, and I look forward to that and overall trying to provide great information for the audience here. So Infusionsoft is an awesome complement to WordStream, and I'll just briefly tell you what we do at Infusionsoft. We are in the CRM space, that geeky technical word, which means customer relationship management, or another kind of buzzword is marketing automation. That is the category that we are in, and we're the market leader in that for small businesses. And then in a nutshell, we're really an online, all-in-one platform that brings together email marketing, landing pages, e-commerce, marketing campaigns to help you kind of automate your business and make it run smoother. So that's the nutshell that we provide. And you can see a little screenshot there which kind of encapsulates that. We help you manage your contacts, help you manage your calendar, help you manage your task list, all around what you have to do related to your marketing and sales, helping you get more customers, keep more customers, and have them refer more business to you. So as we said already, we're really delighted to work with WordStream here in Infusionsoft. I've known WordStream for years and have respect your work, Larry, which you've created and done in your team. So again, for maybe the third or fourth time, we're excited to be here and we appreciate it. So we'll jump into it. Today's all about attract, sell, and wow, and I'll tell you what that means. Many small business owners often ask themselves a lot of questions related to their business. You have a great product out there. I'm sure all of you have great product. That's why you're using PPC to get people to your product. And maybe you're thinking, why people aren't interested in the product, or at least more people. Or, I'm getting a ton of leads. People are clicking and clicking, but maybe no one's buying. Or maybe some of you have a great number of customers. You have a good deal flow, but you're wondering, they're buying from me. They seem happy. So I'm wondering, why aren't the people who are buying from me already telling more people about it? And I think the issue that we have that we want to hopefully uncover today is that there's tools and there's processes, and that all of us have tools, whether it's WordStream or Infusionsoft, whatever. These are tools that you can use. And today we want to hope to introduce you to a process which can help you jumpstart your marketing and increase the amount of sales that you're getting through your PPC activities. That's what we want to get mostly help you with today through your pay-per-click activity. So I introduce you to life cycle marketing, which is a framework, which is a foundation focused on 3 core principles, and that's attract, sell, and wow. And if you don't learn anything else today, that's the bedrock of what we're going to talk about today. Help you with an attraction strategy, help you sell better, and hopefully help you wow the customers once you get them. As I said, lifecycle marketing is really a foundation, a stepping stone to help you, what I like to say, save money and save time. And of course, do more. We also have a picture of Larry's baby. And again, I don't want to get emotional and melodramatic, Larry. I'm not going to start crying on the webinar today. But, at the end of the day, this goes back to our family. It's about taking care of our family, taking care of the people that we love. And I think that running anything we can do to run our business is easier, I would say, that everybody would want to do. So that's really what we want to help give enlightenment today.
I like what you did there, Ramon.
Regarding the baby or something else?
Very good. Continue.
Thank you. Good. So attract, sell, well. Here we go. Dive into it. So the first stage of the life cycle marketing aspect is the attract, sell, well. That's the attraction. And the overriding thing at this point that we want to bring out to you is that, unfortunately, for very small businesses, people are not looking for our business. Now, they do have problems. They may have broke their leg and they're looking for some solution. Well, you need a hospital for that. But they may have sprained their ankle and they're looking for a solution. They may be in the mood to go to an amusement park. They're looking for some solution to their problem. But as very small businesses, they often don't know about our business. Now, of course, large companies like Amazon, Nike, Starbucks, they spend billions and millions of dollars to let people know about their business. We don't have that money. So that's the reason that you need to have an attraction strategy, because people are not looking for your business. So the attraction component has 3 areas, which are target, attract interest, and collect leads. And I want to move through those as quickly as we can today in respect to the time, so we can leave plenty of time for good questions for Larry and myself, and hopefully Larry will have more answers than I have. But targeting strategy. Let's move on and talk about that. What is that? You have this whole sea of people that you want to reach out to. But what we're advocating in this presentation today with lifecycle marketing is that it's very important to target, to specifically focus on that one type of demographic or person, that category, who best needs your business, and try to trying to sell to all, which really never works. Because if you're selling to everyone, really, you're selling to no one, because it's way, way too broad. And I think the other thing to consider about this aspect of targeting is that it's important also to know who you're not for. I know we do that well at Infusionsoft. Larry, I don't know offhand if you all have that, but I know that we have no problem saying we are not for very, very large companies. Or maybe if you're a small business owner, you have, a contact list of 3. You may not be ready for us yet. So we're very laser-like focused, Larry, in saying who we're not for as well.
Yeah, it's just as important as tapping the target market. Otherwise, you just waste so much time and energy on the wrong people.
Absolutely. And going back to wasting energy, When your target market is better defined, Larry, then you're having a more focused message, and you can really drill down and specifically talk to the person you want to reach to. Another component of that, and I know that you all do that well with WordStream, with the CPC and Google AdWords and et cetera, is to think about who your customer is in two areas, the demographics and the psychographics. Demographics are what personally defines someone. Are they male or female? Where do they live? What's their race? Things of this nature. But the psychographics are also important because that goes into buying behavior. What causes people to buy? So that's very important as well. Larry, I hope you don't mind, but I stole this right from your website. So I hope you don't mind Steve-ing for a few minutes in this presentation. But it was a great example. And just going back to the targeting, Larry, is that just a showcase, really. I mean, look at this company in San Francisco. I've heard of them before, selling just to left-handed people, like I am. I'm a lefty. So I thought it was interesting showing that targeting does work going more narrow, not trying to sell to everyone. Or here's another person I saw on your site, Larry, as well. I thought it was great. This guy's here making wood carvings, wood, what do you call these things, Larry? Wood things, wood products. And based on what I read on your site, he's a very low guy. But the point is, these are examples of people going very narrow.
Niche products, yeah.
Niche products, thank you, exactly. So that's the first aspect of targeting, to show why it's important to drill down, go narrow, don't try to go broad. Seth Godin talks about this quite a bit, that there's money in the niches. It's better to go narrow, especially for us small businesses. So, point number 2, the attraction aspect. Now that you've targeted people, what can you do to attract them to you? Yes, a CPC campaign is one aspect of that campaign, one aspect of doing that, but there's more that we can do, and here we'll hopefully uncover that. So we did the attraction. Now we're going to move into the attraction. What can you do to get people noticed, to attract people to you? And there's a lot of things you can do. Social content marketing is probably one of the biggest ways that people talk quite a bit about. But there's a lot of things you can do. Face-to-face, traditional advertising, partnerships, affiliates, getting media coverage. So these are things, again, what we're trying to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is educate you through the process, a system with which you can take your pay-per-click marketing and take it to the next level. So now we're in the attraction phase. These are things that you need to strategically do, to think, what can I do to attract traffic to my website, to attract traffic, even if it's not a website, back to my blog, my website, maybe pick up the phone. This guy here, Greg Harlison, he was talking about the power of this attraction strategy, is that, yes, the attraction strategy gets people attracted to you, but it also makes you authority in your business. And when you're an authority in what you do, deal flow even comes more. So it's very important to focus on this targeting, and I want to give you an example of why that's important as well. There's something here called cohort analysis, and you can Google it and look it up, but I thought it was pretty interesting when I was doing some research for this presentation, and to show you the importance of targeting. You don't just want to know how much did a customer buy. You don't just want to know what did they buy. But if you kind of put a diagram together, a matrix, and in this example here, they're going quarter by quarter, knowing what was the referral source, what was the customer, when did they buy. So that's just kind of an idea for you there that you want to consider. It's more than just how are my sales doing, but you want to get down deep and dirty and really understand the mindset of your customer. Hootsuite. Many of us use their products. Great company, big company as it were. But again, they used to be a free service, as many of you know, and they went to a paid version as well. They had a lot of problems because they didn't do what we're talking about here. They didn't drill down deep and understand. We have more than just customers who are free and fee-based. So that's just a tip for you, that as you're looking to improve your marketing, you don't just want to look at one dimension of your customers, but you want to get as much information as you can, because that will help you target and that will help you attract them much better. So please, Larry, comment?
Yeah, just listeners, what Ramon is saying here is it's so powerful, like understanding your customer persona, not just for the sales process and knowing like who to target, but like in AdWords, you know, there are now typically you think of it as keyword targeting, you know, but now you can slice and dice the people who are searching for those keywords by targeting like segments of people, like by gender or by parental status or by age or by income, and so you know, or by interests. Like so understanding these targeting and the customer persona, what Ramon is speaking, he speaks the truth here. So just wanted to add that. but continue, please.
No, I appreciate that. And I made, actually, it's funny, Larry, I made a mistake in my marketing. I have a couple of businesses, as you know, and one of them I was doing some marketing, some advertising, and I hired someone to help me with it. And they said, Ramon, you're lazy. You just said, I want to target all, for example, small businesses who live in Texas, and I should have gone more narrow. I should have done what I'm advising today. So after I did that, I started to see much better results. So amen to drilling down deeper to our customers.
Nice.
So lead collection. Yeah, we all know the obligatory forms and pop-up links and things of this nature. You need to do that. What we're advocating in this section here with lead collection, one, we're letting you know, collect a lead. That's the one. For those who may not realize it or drive directly to the sale, collect the lead. But here we want to educate you a bit and to say, how can you most effectively collect that lead? And that's really by providing value. You do your advertising, your targeting, your attracting. Now, how can you get that person to give you something of themselves, which could be an email address, could be a telephone number? How can you do that? By providing value. And the best way we say to do that is using a lead magnet. Just like this little girl's licking an ice cream cone. Now, I live in Jersey, and it's freezing. It's like -degrees some nights, and it's miserable. But I'm digressing. So, using a lead magnet.
The seasonal magnet.
Exactly. Use a lead magnet. And lead magnets, ladies and gentlemen, really, some of you, I bet, are doing them. But I hope with this slide we can help you understand how to do it better. A lead magnet is so important because just getting them to your website, just getting them to your blog, just getting them to call you is not enough. You have to give them some reason to give up more information. And again, you can do these things in which you see there, webinars and podcasts and ebooks and etc. It takes time, I know, but a good lead magnet is worth a lot because that will in turn get the customer to give you what you want, which is an email address or something else. And you can see some good lead magnets that people have are here, and you can see a good lead magnet should provide more value. It should be specific, short, a good visual. It should maybe even have the word free or discounted in it. So these are not hard, fast rules, but these are just some things that you may want to go back to your own lead magnet and say, hey, is my lead magnet, does it have some of these principles that Ramon shared today? And Larry, I don't use Sephora's beauty products. However, I thought they had a great idea here where they kind of gamified their lead magnet, how they wanted to attract, how they wanted to capture an email. They said, hey, put your email address in, hit spin now, and we'll give you a discount. So that it was a fun way where they did that. And you can use actually a PPC campaign to do this as well. So it's all really integrated hand in hand, but the key is you can't do one well and have the other not done so well.
I have a crazy example of a really killer lead magnet, just from personal experience here, Ramon. Like for WordStream, I wrote a thing called the WordStream AdWords Performance Grader for like free AdWords Grader, and basically it just asks you for your AdWords account information, and then it gives you a visual free report card of how you're doing and what you need to do to improve and when where you're doing well, and that one free that tool that I created, that magnet, is so powerful. It generates thousands of signups per month, and these are exactly aligned with our target market in terms of we're looking for people who are looking to improve their PPC performance, and then it just changed the business. So just thinking about that one big magnet idea, what is it that what's the free beer for my customers, and then giving it to them, that's really powerful.
And what I like about that, Larry, is not only did you do the lead magnet, but you did something that's near and dear to your ideal customers. I mean, analyze my traffic, just put in my Google ID. I mean, you can't get easier than that. So.
It changed the business, basically, yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So I just sent out a link to that free tool so you can see what it looks like in the chat box. So take a look at it now or later and get an idea of what we mean by a lead magnet.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for the example. I'm going to have a look at that as well. So the second part of the life cycle marketing, attract, sell, and wow. And this is a principle that we teach at Infusionsoft to guide you into better marketing, better sales, and as we're talking about today, to get better results with your pay-per-click campaign. So the second result, the second aspect of the attract, sell, wow, we talked about attraction, is now selling. Now you have to make a sale. We want to talk today how to do that. Selling is composed of three components, which is the educate, the offer, and the close. And notice, ladies and gentlemen, Larry, others, that we didn't say ask for money first. We're now saying once you've attracted them and you've captured them in some way, now it's time to educate them. Education is the first part of a great sale. So let's go into that. As you're looking to make a sale and you're educating, this is not a pitch. This is not asking people to buy. This is giving people more information so they can understand the more value that you provide. And again, you'll see here words used over and over again, giving value, value, value. Larry's example of the lead magnet, I must say that is darn amazing because it's value. I can see how my website is doing and what it can be done better. So when you're selling, you really want to, before you're asking for a sale, it's a matter of adding value. Thinking, what do the people who are coming to me, what do they care most about? Because if you're serving them, providing to them what they care most about, you can't go wrong. And oftentimes we don't focus on and think, what do people care most about? One tip for you, going back to caring and going back to as you're educating, this is Nadine Larder of Printerbees, a marketer. You can look her up. She talks about here, our email messaging is very personal. And all emails are written as if I were sitting down to write an email, and you can read that yourself. The point is, as you're doing this education, you want to make sure it's as personal as you can be. Not, dear customer, dear generic, dear first name. Make the person feel warm and fuzzy inside. So, keeping in mind as we're going on the sales part of this, the people who are attracted to you, who've taken the time to get to your website, to introduce to your service, they have a need for your product. But oftentimes they just need to be a little more convincing that you are the right solution for them. Keep in mind, there's a lot of solutions out there. So it's really about making sure that you convince people that you're the right solution for them. This here, Larry, is a subject that's really dear to me, and this is about the aspect of multiple touches. Too many times I find, and I do this myself as a business owner, that I don't touch people enough. And what that means is, so take Larry for example. He says, Ramon, I'd like to buy your widget. And he goes away. I don't call him, touch him, mail him, email him. He already said he wants to buy. It's now just for me to keep touching him over and over again until he buys. And as a help, again, Larry, this is not a science per se, but I was looking around, and I think Judy Schramm, I saw she has an interesting LinkedIn profile. People can look her up. She was saying, how do you calculate how many touches? Most marketers will say, Larry, that the average time you need to touch people is between 7 and 20. I've seen numbers 13 and etc. The point is it takes a lot of touches. And for those of you wondering, well, Ramon, how many touches do I have to do? How many times do I have to educate? Think about this. What's your target market? What kind of people are they? What's the price point? Are you selling something that's $500 a month? That's 2 cents? That's free? What are you selling? And then what do you need to convey? Putting these things together will help give you an idea of how many touches you should do before someone's probably going to be warmed up to buy your product. So the second part of this sales cycle, again, we're in Infusionsoft's life cycle marketing. After you've educated, now you can make the offer. And the offer is really cool because the offer can come at various parts in your sales cycle. It can come in the awareness stage, the recommendation stage. There's really no particular science to know what it is, but the point is we want to make you aware in this presentation that you at some point have to make the offer. You have to get people interested and go out really clearly and say, now, do you want to buy? So that's what the offer is really all about. As we said, you can do all this without Infusionsoft, and here's one thing I'm going to show you a little bit about the power that Infusionsoft can do, but I really do mean these are principles, and I hope you've enjoyed them and liked them, that really help your business. So even though you don't need Infusionsoft to do this, I do want to show you the power of our software. 2 slides real quick right here, what we do and how we complement WordStream. After you draw that lead in, after they click the link and you've attracted them to your website, they've given you an email or something like that, here's where Infusionsoft kicks in. You can see here as a simple example, this is a campaign, and you can build a customized campaign for an almost infinite amount of marketing you need to do. What a campaign means is this. Somebody submits an email. You want to send them a thank you note. 2 days later, you want to touch them and ask them if they want more information. They click and say, yes, I want more information. Then you send them with the information they wanted. So I don't want to go on with this, but the point is that we automate many of the things that many of you now may do manually through Outlook or with email or with Gmail or whatever it is. So that's kind of a picture, a drag and drop campaign that you can do with Infusionsoft. Another thing I want to show you is the aspect of lead scoring. We talked about it's important to know when to make the offer. Again, You can do this on your own. You can use gut instinct or other things that you may do. But what's nice about a system like Infusionsoft is that we build in lead scoring so that you can see when someone's hot based on your criteria and when they're ready to buy. So that's just an example to show you of how the power of what Infusionsoft can do, and I would dare say the power of Infusionsoft combined with WordStream. So moving on, so I want to leave plenty of time for questions and a discussion. The last part of again, we're in attract, selling, and wowing. We're in the selling portion now is the close, which is really where you're closing the person and you're now getting the money. They're buying your service. And what I want to explain to you here, this is important as well. It's not just a simple exchange of money. It's easy to exchange money, but if you just exchange the money, it's not enough. Because again, we're talking about the life cycle of the customer. So you want to establish a relationship and make them feel very special. This is where the close happens. It's simple, it's short, but I just want to make you aware it's more than just a monetary transaction. But it's really something where you want to make them feel special and that they got the value out of it. So the third part of lifecycle marketing, we've come to attract, selling. Now we're in the wowing stage. And this is another fun part that I like, comprised of three things, which is the deliver and wow, offering more, and getting referrals. So the deliver and wow section, it's really about offering more than you promised. The person read your material. They bought from you. Now it's time to wow them. It's time to show them that they care about you, that you care, rather, about them. And this is really important. It's that feeling that you get when you buy something from a good product, from a good store. And let's think one way to do this is wowing our customers. It doesn't take a lot of money to wow a customer. Sometimes it could be just a pat on the back, but in this virtual world where we're selling things online, think about it. What could you do for $5? Larry, I'm going to challenge you on that. What do you think you could do, Larry, for $5 or less budget? I mean, some ideas are, of course, give somebody a gift card. One of our customers, Larry, he buys a lottery ticket and sticks that on each invoice as a way to wow his customers. So I put you on the spot, Larry, but what do you think? $5 or less budget, what would you do?
I don't know. Like the gift card is kind of what we've done little things with the gift cards before, but not really. Like maybe like a little giveaway item, like a notebook or something like that.
Yeah. Or even, you know, Larry, another lead magnet. I mean, this is not one, of course, that you're saying I want something from you. This is a gift. Hey, here's part 2 of how to do PPC better. So you passed the test, Larry. Good job. So,
one thing that we do is we give away like for ad spend. Like we'll give, like, so the free beer, like you're trying to get to the free beer, right? Like the thing that's what they want. For our particular target customer, the free beer is free ad spend, and so sometimes we'll give away like, you know, $200 of ad spend, and like that'll get things going, like, you know. But we have a higher customer, like a higher price point, so you know, like $200 is like, you know, it's okay.
No, I get it. No, clear. And that's a good point. With these, as you're wowing your customer, you have to, of course, realize what are they spending to make it commensurate to that. But the principle is, it doesn't take a lot of money. It really just takes thought. And as you're thinking about this, this is the principle we're showing you. You really want to think, how much more money could I save? How much more money could I bring in per year if I implemented some of the procedures and the systems that Ramon's talking about? If I did a better job of targeting, if I did a better job of attracting, if I did a better job of selling, if I did a better job of wowing, how much more revenue could I increase, or as we're talking about today, could I get multiple times more with my PPC investment than I am today? And I think if you implement some of these principles, you're already doing great. But I hope today with lifecycle marketing, we're showing you how you can even do better. So moving on here as we come kind of to an end, and we definitely, please get your questions ready, and I'll try to answer them with Larry as best as we can. Second part of this really is just offering more. You know, it's an emotional bank account. If you deposit goodwill, trust grows. And this is really what we're trying to talk about today. And the key is you can do these things manually, but if you have a marketing automation, if you have a CRM system that can help you do it, you'll be able to do it much better. So another principle I want to talk about and show you today, this particular image didn't come out so well, but what I'm talking about here with this image, you can close your eyes and think with me, is the aspect of upselling. And Larry, I think it's a pretty important part. The top one is talking about cross-selling. That's where people bought your product and you're giving them something relatively related to what they've bought from you. That's a cross-sell. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, how you can make more money with your advertising. Because the customer's already bought from you once, what can you offer them to get them to buy from you again? So that's cross-selling, the top image. That's an example there. The second one is upselling. They've bought from you. What can you sell to them that's maybe a bit more, slightly a bit different than they have, and that's at a higher margin, maybe a higher price point? And the third thing is, what could you sell them that's entirely new? Still possibly related to their need, but that's totally new. It'd be as if WordStream said, we have web design services. You doubt WordStream will do that, but as an example, you've bought already great pay-per-click services. What more can I do now from a company that I trust? And that's really there what this slide is all about, to get the people understanding that it's beyond just that immediate transaction, but cross-selling, upselling, and selling something new. Please.
Yeah, I think like at least 25% of our business here is from existing customers. I mean, do you have a sense of that? Is that typical? Like for small businesses, like how much business comes from like upsells and cross sells?
No, absolutely. And I mean, I think we'll touch on this in one of the slides, I think, as we're coming to an end here. But I think that what's interesting is that, Larry, it's much easier to be able to get a customer who already bought from you to either refer a customer or buy more than trying to go out again and again and again and get people to buy new things from you. Our co-founder, Scott Martin, Larry, he often talks about, and I should have included in here, we have trash cans. And you do all this advertising and get, say, 100 people in. 10 people buy. We forget about the 90 people who are somewhat interested in what we're selling. And so that's what we hope to do today, to help them understand that there's a better way. That's what education is from. Those who are not buying, educate them, touch them, so they can buy when they're ready.
Awesome.
To the last point about the attract, sell, wow with lifecycle marketing, again, talking about how this beautiful blend of WordStream and Infusionsoft is getting referrals. Getting referrals, ladies and gentlemen, is important. The customer took the time already to buy from you. They already bought from you and spent their money. The least you can do now is implement a strategy that they will want to refer other people to you. And if you're wowing your customers with great customer service, they're going to definitely want to refer people to you. We have here Tom Forrest of ICE Key Tags. Look it up. It's a really cool business. A lot of this business, Larry, is built on partnerships and referrals. And he has a system in place. So he has, not only does he have customers who are customer evangelists, but he also has a whole partner team he set up and made it very easy so that they can go out and sell more of what he has. And the overall thing here is really, when you do this, you want to make it easy. Don't make it easy for referral. Don't make it hard for people to give you referrals. Don't make it hard for partners to refer business to you. And these are really just some tips here. And one of the tips I like most here, Larry, is that to treat your referrals as VIPs. You may even want to make a kind of a referral program so you can really call out and know very specially who are our most ardent customers, who are the people who are really giving us the most value. A few things here about why it's important to care about customers. As we're talking about customer service, I think is pretty interesting. One is price. Interestingly enough, it's not that what price that pushes people away from you. Price is not the main reason. We find, Larry, that what it is that it's poor customer service. Some other stats here that I think should be interesting is looking at how easy it is to sell to an existing customer. 60 to 70% better than trying to sell to a new prospect where the probability is so low. And I won't read all this. You guys can read it yourself and go back to the PowerPoint. But if you look at some of these examples, look at that, the last point. It takes 12 positive experiences to make up for one unresolved negative experience. So this is kind of what we're trying to show, and credit to Cole and Shaw for that information, is that customer service is so important. And if you're just focusing on the sale, you'll find that you're wondering why you're not increasing your sales. It's because you need to stop just focusing on the sale, but also focus on what happens after the sale. So, Larry, this has been Lifecycle Marketing, Infusionsoft's Attract, Sell, and Wow, a principle of how it works. And as we said before, people can take this away, and we'll ask questions, or Larry, I'll get your comments here. People can do what we said without Infusionsoft, but again, it's a platform people can use and a framework for success. Larry, do you want me? Yeah, I'll share this now, and then I'll let you take the lead from here, Larry. But if you're interested in the Lifecycle Marketing booklet, which I talked about today, if you want to book it for yourself, and or you're interested in knowing more about Infusionsoft, Larry, people can go to that link right there and get more information. But I'd love to have more dialogue with you, Chad, or we can take some questions.
I have a bunch of questions coming in. I will put this link in the chat box for everybody, and do you have any closing thoughts?
No, I think, listen, I enjoyed it, and I think that I hope that I helped today. I've really benefited from, I know I and Infusionsoft has benefited from the partnership with WordStream, and I think what we're here about today, as I said, is two things. One, the principle of lifecycle marketing, which works. People can take that, and if they're not ready for us, use their existing software. But some of you on the call today know that you're ready to go to the next level, and I think that I'd consider giving a try Infusionsoft. It works very well with WordStream.
Yeah, I just would add on that. What we're talking about here is leverage. It's a tremendous amount of leverage for PPC marketers to get so much more from the money that they're already spending on advertising and lead generation to convert more of them into like higher value items and faster and more of them. And I think that so WordStream has a similar process in place, like in terms of our own business processes, it's really it's very scalable, and it's like, yeah, I think a lot of small businesses, like, they don't necessarily go in looking for this type of thing, like, because like they typically have like a problem, like, oh, I need help with my, I don't know, like SEO or my PPC or my social media, but like you kind of need this system to get the most out of those investments.
Great, that was a really perfect summary, and I hope that you guys, really take advantage of the value of life cycle marketing and check out this planner, and we hope that you can get as much value out of Infusionsoft as we do. Quick question about the Infusionsoft CRM product is, do you have a specific solution for agencies?
As far as agencies who want to resell it, I'm going to assume that. I guess the person can answer back. So yes, for those who want to have Infusionsoft and resell it to customers, we do have that kind of solution, yes.
Okay, great. And you can reach out to Infusionsoft if you have more questions about that. Do you have an email there they could reach out to?
Yep. I had it on the first slide, but it's ramon.ray@infusionsoft.com. ramon.ray@infusionsoft.com.
Okay, I'll put that in the chat box as well. Okay, moving on, really specific, Larry, you talked about in Adwords targeting your audience based off of various demographics. Can you tell us exactly where to find that?
Sure. There's a tab called Demographics, it will. I mean, currently it's still a little bit limited, like compared to, say, like Facebook. I think there's only like five different demographic options. It was like income, age, gender, parental status, and interests. But yeah. But it's an area that Google is working on developing right now, and I think that's pretty interesting for, where you're trying to target types of customers as opposed to just keywords.
Okay, great. And for those of you looking for insights, you'll get an email shortly after this webinar, links to those resources, and that'll actually go to everyone who registered. And the demographics, is that for campaigns or for specific ads?
Those would be campaign level targeting options.
Okay, perfect. I hope that answers everybody's questions. Ramon, you talked about developing a customer persona. Can you use some specific strategies how a small business might figure out and what their customer persona is?
Sure. I think there's two ways to do it at the top of my head that I shave once a week. I don't think Larry shaves his head. I think he has longer hair than I do. But two ways to do it. One, I would say, Kate, through surveys. As people are buying or after the sale, throughout, meaning over time, start asking some very smart questions, such as, what's your gender? You may not want to ask it quite like that, actually. That's the wrong way to say it. But my point is, you will get information from your customers through surveys. You'll know where they're at, what their zip code is, what their telephone number is. As your sales rep are talking, somebody says, my child had a birthday. That's a bit of information. So I think by asking questions and over time, you'll begin to understand who your customers are. That's point one. Point two, I think it's also interesting through tagging. And again, Infusionsoft does this, but I'm making this very generic, even for those who are doing it on your own. As people are filling out forms, you'll see, oh, this guy attended my conference 10 times. You'll begin to infer and get information. So when I say develop a persona, it's opening your eyes, asking your customers the right questions proactively or passively, and building that database. We have that. That's how we're able to know who our customers are, because over the years, we now say our customer is this particular type of customer, because we ask the question and then we go back to our stats. So that's how you develop a customer persona. Also, I will say that there's companies who can also help with that as well. You can like feed them lists, and they'll come back and say, here's kind of who your customers represent, who they look like. You can buy that information as well.
So just to add to that,
Super helpful.
I think that those are some really great ways, like surveying and tagging. There's some really cool new ways to figure out information about your personas, your target customers, using like new advertising technologies. Mm-hmm. So I'll just give you a couple examples. In Google Analytics, there's actually a demographics tab now. Like you can kind of segment, and kind of see what the people visiting your website look like, and they've got various ways to segment the data along the demographic kind of characteristics I was describing you earlier. Another crazy idea would be to take your customer list, okay, and upload that to Facebook and create, a Facebook campaign targeting those types of people, okay, and then maybe you click off the box that says also target similar audiences, okay, so you could run, spend $200 or a couple $100 running an ad campaign, okay, and then what Facebook will give you is like campaign data telling you where the clicks and conversions came from and what those types of people were interested in, so like there's ways to kind of like implicitly survey using like all this analytics and advertising technology that I think is pretty exciting and new.
And I just want to underline that, Kate, is that is a freaking awesome way. I've done that, and I've seen that where you take your list, upload it to Facebook, so thank you, Larry, for that. That is just powerful. And another thing, keep in mind, for those who may be going to analytics and not seeing the profiling of things, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that Google often updates their analytics engine, so sometimes you may have to put new code into your site, or otherwise, I know I had to at least for certain things before I could see some of the advanced features.
Cool. And so as I develop a customer persona and I know what my audience customers are, how do I know specifically what will attract my targeters or my customer personas?
I think there's a few things that I would say, Larry. I'd love your thoughts on this. I know that Tim Ferriss, the guy who wrote 4-Hour Workweek, what he did, Larry, was he put out some test Google ads for his book title as an example, and of course mashed up all this data, but he put out sample Google ads and said, okay, great. This set of customers like the name 4-Hour Workweek, and that's what it was. So I think that's kind of a way, my point in saying that is testing, is that is testing on certain aspects of your customers to know what they want. I think the second thing is that after you've done the testing, and then after you're sending out your campaign, is to make sure your copy reflects your demographic, reflects your target market. So for example, if you're selling something that's for children, you may need to have copy that is more focused on children. Now, are they children who are girls or who are boys? Are they children in the South or in the North? Those are differences. Second of all, maybe you think it's a product for children, but it's a product for the children's parents, the ones who are really buying it. So if that helps a little bit, I say test so you know what works. And then after you test, be very cognizant that your copy matches who the message is to on a very granular level.
Those are some awesome examples, Ramon. Just a couple of things to add here. It is actually very difficult to know what's going to resonate with your target market. You would think that we would have a better idea because we work in this particular industry all day and all night, and it's for a long time, and you think you know them very well, but oftentimes it's you've lost touch with kind of what it was that they were looking for. I'll just give you a quick example. I thought that being a PPC software company that you know, people would want to have a free trial of my software. So that was going to be my magnet. I'm going to just offer like a free trial where you go in and you figure it out, and it seemed obvious because like that's what everyone else was doing, and you know, if we're a software company and that's what software companies do, right? And it wasn't until like, you know, 3 or 4 years into the business that I realized, like, I started like figuring out, wait a minute, like people aren't coming to my website to do a free trial of like this PPC management system. They're coming because they just want to know how they're doing in AdWords and where they can improve. And so then I had to retool the whole system and come up with a different offer, you know, like this free grader, which kind of tells you, you know, how you're doing, and you know, it's like just that small pivot like just dramatically changed the fortune of the business, and it was not even though it seems obvious in hindsight, it was not obvious like going into the thing. And so, like, you know, how do you know what's going to really resonate with your audience and what's like going to not resonate or just resonate okay? Like, there's a big difference, and you know, there's a couple ideas. Like, one is just like on that sign-up form where they fill out their information, add a little box that just says like, what was it that you were hoping for us to help you with today? And you would be surprised at like how often it's not what you think it is. And so like if there's a misalignment there, you have to fix that. Just like one other idea that I have is to leverage emotional triggers. So that's where you think about like, you know, what are the pain points of like what does your customer love? What does he hate? What does he or she, you know, who's their ally? Who's their enemy? And just leveraging certain emotional triggers to really make those offers more like dynamite. You know, like. Yeah. Anything else to add there, Ramon?
No, I was just going to ask you, Larry, does that mean also that you're now disciplining yourself to keep testing and testing, that you'll never again have a 2-year lapse before you get it, I would assume, because I know that's one thing that I go through is trying to always keep asking myself and challenging myself. I don't know, you know what I mean? So that 6 months from now, I want to make sure I don't miss a new set of customers or new messaging that I should be saying.
Yeah, you know, we've done some testing on this. Like there are, I call them like there's small changes that you can make, mm-hmm. and then every once in a while there's these like big changes. So like small changes can give you like 3 to 5% improvements. You know, like I'm going to just change this word or a period or comma or whatever. You know, and then there's the big changes where you kind of flip things on their head, those can do like 3 to 5 times improvements, not just 3 to 5% And what I found is that just like the more like it's hard to keep coming up with those big crazy ideas. You know, it almost like raises the risk as well. Like because you're like, you know, like if you're not doing well, then there's like a very little risk involved with trying out something completely different. Right. You know, but if it's now doing like 10 times better than before, then it's kind of like, well, you know, maybe they want to play it safe. I don't know. So it's just, you know, so you're still testing, but like the idea is like, you know, the better it is. I mean, there's still some small risk associated with testing, and that you know, things could get worse. That's all.
Absolutely.
I have a couple questions coming in about specific verticals. You know, you talked about for personas, you talked about lead magnets. What about for people in real estate? Any specific ideas for that vertical?
I know that we have a number of customers who are in real estate. In fact, Greg Harlison, one of the guys I mentioned, is in real estate. So I probably want to know more, understand the question more, but since, you know, it's hard to have a back and forth on this, I think some ideas I would say for real estate, just in general. One, clearly real estate is about pictures. That's one. People like to see homes or houses, what's happening. Two, I think it's a very relationship intense business. We've all possibly bought houses or apartments, and et cetera. So it's really about that person who we feel closest to, who we trust. And I think that pre-sales education can help with that. I think point 3, speed is important, depending on, of course, what you're buying or how it is. But I know especially in the New York market, that's why, again, going back to targeting, every customer is different. In the New York market, you know, there's a lot of brokers, a lot of real estate agents, so you have to be pretty quick and fast to, which I think where technology overall, beyond marketing and sales, comes in. So that's my sense to help with anybody who's in real estate is, one, education is real important. Education to warm the relationship and to kind of answer any question that someone may have about what you're selling. Why not feed them every conceivable answer even before they ask? And then two, as I said, speed. Three, really imagery, and I think there's a lot of, this goes beyond this webinar, but I know even Google has a lot of cool tools that enable you to do 360 views of homes and other things like that. So I hope that helped. Larry, I don't know what you'd say, or Kate, maybe was I off base? Let me know, but I hope that's, those few things I said helped.
Yeah, just to add to that, I know, like, we have a lot of real estate folks as customers as well. It's one of our big verticals. One of the hot cakes in terms of like an offer is just data. It's just comparable housing sales or like trends of like how many units sold in this city or in this neighborhood in the last 90 days, and how does that differ from the same period last year. It's like those are really compelling like little packages that you could zip up and put behind a sign up thing and use that to attract.
That's a great example. If anybody has last questions, send them in now. The last question I have at this time is, Ramon, you talked about value of referrals and a few ways to get referrals. Can you tell us a little more about how to leverage those referrals, how to share them with prospects or even with current clients to keep them on longer? What will you do with them once you have them?
Sure. You may have to repeat some of that. I think there are 3 questions there, but I think really the essence of referrals is as follows. And again, our own business, we live by referrals. Our own business at Infusionsoft, so what is it? You eat what you make or something like that? You eat your own dog food, which is, I hate cliches, Kate, but we eat our own dog food. So we live by referrals. But I think a few things. One, you have a customer, and the customer's deliriously happy with you. That's when you need to make the offer or the ask. Thank you, I'm glad you're happy with us. Is there anyone else you can refer to us? That's one. And again, we're talking about today marketing automation, Infusionsoft, etc. But the key we want to get is the principle of make sure you do it, however you do it, with us or not. So one is systematizing it. Point 2, I think then the grade of that is you may want to have a referral program. Beyond just asking the customer, you may want to have a systematic program that manages referrals, that you're asking people to become referrals. And this is where rewarding comes in. Somebody who referred once, yeah, you pat them on the back and say thanks. But you have someone who's sending you X number of referrals a month, which whatever that number is big for your industry, you want to make sure that you're delighting them and making them feel really good. And if you're compensating them with money, make sure they got that check. Because the more that they feel compensated, the more they're going to refer. That's point 3. I think, but I think the biggest thing, Kate, really is just to wow people. As the simplest way. You need the system, but if you're wowing people, point 1, and you're making the ask, point 2, you will get referrals. And you'll have, in essence, customer evangelists.
I don't have anything to add to that. That was great.
That was perfect. That's the questions I have right now. We all really appreciate your today and hope we provided you some value. Look for an email with the recording inside, and feel free to contact us with any questions you didn't get asked today.
And thank you, Kate, and thank you, Larry, for having me. We really appreciate the partnership and to help your customers as well, as we said, 3X with your PPC campaigns.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
All right, bye.